That's amazing.
It's all.
Oh, dust, I know, it's weird, isn't it? Hi guys, so I don't know how long it is since I've been up here. It's a long time. So this is the workshop where I used to work with my dad. So how long have you been here? How long have you been in this workshop?
Well, nearly 40 years.
40 years. Are they at Woodworking that?
That's it. It's Sedgwick.
That's Fenwick. Sedgwick. Yeah, oh, that's the Sedgwick. So we've got a Sedgwick 12-inch planer. There's a guy that's always on Instagram, and he has a radial arm saw, and some of the stuff he makes with huge dovetails and that on it, they're a real bit of kit, really. I mean, we used it properly because it's...
No, it could turn.
It were buried under mounds of stuff for most of the time, weren't it? Yeah, such a great kit, because you can turn them other way and like rip sheets on them, can't you?
Decades with them.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That drops down.
That's actually a DeWalt in there, is it?
That drops down.
Yeah.
You can put like a router.
Yeah, and then you've got sort of these from the kind of the old days, weren't you? The old Chapat bandsaw. That Chapat bandsaw that I had in France and mended, it was rubbish. But I mean, that one, you know, that's like a commercial one, and you've had that for, well, how long have you had that? As long as
I was down at garage, so I've had that over 40 years.
Yeah. And then you got your dust extractor, which is probably
that was it. Was
probably seen better days now.
The
But
dust extractor would have free.
and what makes this? Anyway, this has done some work as well, hasn't it?
Oh, everything's done some work.
Yeah. Massive pile of sawdust up behind.
Well, yeah, because
In fact, I think he moved it out because that little rack there, which had all his templates in it, we used to drop on here, so we could tenant with rebates in. I'm sure that used to be further it came.
forward, so we get
Right.
dust extractor behind it.
Okay. Yeah, the main machine I wanted to show you was this one, which is, I know you've taken up front cover off because you've had problems with it, but so how long have you had this? So this is a start right. Is that the motor from it?
That's the blue.
That's a shame, isn't it?
It just went through wiring.
Yeah. So it's just a motor,
But it's a
but
special
that's just for so basically, when you bought this, it had three. See a lot of universal machines on YouTube and Stein tops. It's an 8-inch planer thicknesser, spindle moulder and saw. Probably the only thing that was actually slightly wrong with this saw, because the compactness, wrong's probably the wrong word, but how near the saw and the spindle moulder are, which means you always had to take the shroud off, the guards off.
Yeah.
It'd have been nice in essence if the saw and the spindle moulder had have been separated by, I don't know, 12-inch, but then the machine had had to be much bigger.
A sliding carriage.
And your sliding carriages at side. But it has 3 motors, of course, doesn't it? So these are, I've got a video on YouTube. One of my first videos I made on YouTube, making one of these jigs. Well, that's seen better days. But I think Grandad made all these, didn't he?
That's fair.
So I made a few of these for my own Triton planer, just to make beads and sill sections. And I mean, you can see how worn that is, but it's probably 40-odd year old, that jig.
Oh, yeah, it is.
And then it had a slot mortiser attachment, it had a chuck on the end of the planer, and then you cut your mortisers on there. It were all good, but certainly nowhere near as good as having the mortiser. Did you say you bought this in 1980?
1980.
43 years old then.
Oh, yeah.
I think you've had your money out of it for 43 years.
Oh.
Do you know how much you paid for it? 1,400. I mean, it'd been a lot of money, £1,400, all them taxes. You just tell when you look in there how everything's made, all the rack and pinions and the pulleys. It's just properly engineered, isn't it? A lot of that old-fashioned woodworking machines are all in planer thicknesses and...
So,
Yeah, the little Titan one, the little screw fix special. But they're alright, that's exactly like the one before I bought my Rage 5 in France. I had Far, which was a Chinese mate, but it was identical to that. They just obviously all come out of the same factory somewhere in China, but they do the job if you just rip in. And how big is it in here then? It's about, is it about?
17 foot wide
Yeah.
by 58, 38
Okay.
I mean, the work that's gone out of here is unbelievable.
Oh, I know. Well, yeah. Well, there'll be thousands of winter frames. I mean, them sawhorses then.
I still have that. I won't get rid of that.
So this is I can't even remember what it was. It's actually faded. You can actually see where it's faded behind calendar. So that was a little ready reckoner of how many linear feet of material you got out of a cubic feet, because obviously you buy hardwood by cubic feet. So we had a little ready reckoner. This is where it all kind of goes wrong. Small workshops, small businesses, it's all about cash flow. And we still got the weathercock on here as well, I used to remember. When we used to draw these up, the flask. We used to bring flasks of tea to work every morning, and probably not a week went by without breaking a flask. The old glass flask, you only have to knock them over and they smash. So we started chalking them up on the bench, like you say, on the side of fighter planes when they shot a plane down. Yeah, actually your bench is a bit tidier than mine, actually. You managed to keep all your tools at one end of it. I've said a few times on the channel I'm going to come up and make some
I don't want to make it a bit tidy.
Well, I don't know. What does they always used to say? A tidy workshop with a quiet workshop. So it's nice. You've still got it, and you can come up and have a bit of a play up here every now and again. Obviously, I know.
Anybody probably wanted out doing.
Yeah, well, exactly. Everybody came in. That was sometimes a problem with having this workshop. The family used to come. And actually you spend all day chatting to people because people came for a piece of plywood cutting or a piece of timber cutting, and then they used to go over at 4 o'clock and you were still here till midnight making windows for people. What was call it there? I mean, that's so...
that's grand.
I know, that's Grandad's thing. You've seen... Oh, there's guillotine. Yeah, tell you what, we've cut some beads on that over here, haven't we? You've moved on from strings though, you've moved on to cable ties on lights. Yeah. We used to have strings on. Problem is, we're working in a low workshop when you're making something like a tall window or a conservatory. The number of times we've turned things over to sand the other side, knocked the light out and smashed the light, so we used to have them tied on. But you've moved on to cable ties now. Brilliant. Well, thanks. Hopefully you enjoyed that, guys. It's a blast from the past. Anyway, I've not come empty-handed anyway. I've got your present.
Is it a saw?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Okay. Track saw.
Is it a track?
Yeah, it's there in that bag.
Oh, superb. Oh, rare.
You take that then. I'll bring the rest in. There you go. I'll let you do your own unboxing video.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. It's 110 volt. Pick your transformer this morning. That's the other box, which is really heavy, so I need to get that. I got it from Screwfix this morning. You got it there?
Oh,
Little chisel. That's a canvas bag for it to go in.
yeah.
A guide there. Just extraction ports.
Well, this is a brand new one.
Yeah. Evolution sent me this to do a review in, and accidentally they sent me the 110 volt one. I didn't have an 110 volt transformer. And Tom's from Evolution said, look, do with it what you want to do with it. And I couldn't think of anything better to do with it than give my dad it. So we're doing an unboxing video here.
Oh, that's really exciting.
The blade needs mount. Basically, it's 185mm circular saw from Evolution. It's got one of the multi-blades in it. It lets you cut aluminium and steel section. Just really be careful with that because they are really heavy. I think it weighs 16.5 kilos. Yeah, they're heavy, aren't they? I've never had one. I've never needed an 110 volt supply. So obviously just leave that on floor somewhere and don't move it around very much. And that's a track. So in there are 2 track clamps. This all comes in the Evolution set. So you get 2 track clamps. Allen key there. Put that somewhere safe for a minute. It's a like Velcro fastener. There's 2 4-foot tracks in the back of one of them. That one there. That Allen key goes in there to slide along, so you can fix the 2 together. So you can have an 8-foot track and do them 4 grub screws and just slide them on, so you've kind of got 2 grub screws on each. Certainly better cutting an 8x4 sheet down with that than you have trying to get it across your saw.
I might have to come out of retirement.
So what you need to do is when you first set your saw up, see these guides here? They're the guides that you set to your mark. So if you're cutting something, you make your pencil mark. But before you do that, you've got to trim them. So put your blade in your saw, set it to a few millimetres, and then run it down there, and it'll cut a couple of mil off that strip, and then that sets it then. And then after that, then you can set them guys, make a pencil mark on your board and set that guide. But when I got mine, I expected them that they'll slide around, but when you get them on a board, they just don't move.
I really feel it.
Yeah, well, let's just mount this blade. Oh, you've got me nuts. Oh, me nuts! Cut all sorts with these blades. They are brilliant. They cut through screws, nails. You need. Ah, there it is. That's actually the Allen keys in there. Look, it's actually moulded into the body there to feel the blade, and there's a little press stop on the top there. It's really nice, thick quality cable, isn't it? It's nice when you get a power tool with quality cable. 110 volt power tools are cheaper than. Once you've got one of them, then you can buy all 110 volt. Couple of pencil lines on, and then you can just put your track to them pencil lines like that, and then set your guide for that 18mm ply. So you'll have to set your guide a couple, because you've got to factor in the thickness of the rail, which is usually about 5mm, so you'll have to sort of set it about 23mm on that depth guide there. Your blade guide there at the moment is sat at sort of 20mm. You probably just have to that's it, drop it down to there. That's it, 25mm, so about that. We only came out fish and chips. We didn't actually expect to get covered in sawdust. Have a play of it in your own time. Well, that's it, guys. I'm going to go and get some fish and chips now for his lunch. I hope you enjoyed that little video. If so, give us a thumbs up. And if you didn't like my contribution, then give my dad a thumbs up. And I'll see you on the next video soon. Cheers, guys. Bye.